What's up, guys? My name is Rich with AK Growth, a branding studio focused on intent-driven marketing. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is obstruction versus production on your website. Now, a lot of people, when they have a website, if you're running a business and you have a website, then you probably want to fit a lot of things onto those web pages, right? Because you're trying to get as many people to look at as many things as possible. But I want to tell you that in reality, you're really obstructing the information that you want to present to your customers and your prospects and people who don't know you. And it's very important that you present your information in a way that is very clear, distinguishable, and understandable. Every page should be its own action. When you focus on having web pages set up as their own action, then you can control the events of that page. Whereas when you set up a web page that has 100 different little things on it, if I'm looking at your website for the first time, then honestly it's gonna confuse me probably a lot more than it's gonna educate me. I've always noticed that having one action per web page generally delivers the best results. You want people to go through and stay streamlined in the process, and that's kind of what separates an amateur design versus a professional design, because an amateur design is going to try to fit as many elements as possible into as little space as possible, and I would kind of go about it the other way. I would use negative space to be able to clearly drive actions on my website. And that way there's no confusion for the customer when they're on a specific page, because don't forget there's a lot of different variables involved with how a customer is doing that day, or what they're focused on, or their attention span on a million different things. You don't want them to land on your site while they're talking to their coworker Margaret and get confused and then not really understand what the webpage is about, and in her head she's gonna think that she looked at all the information, but in reality none of it was stored because there was no clear intention on what needed to be done on that website. So the web pages follow actions, right? And you can control the events of those actions on the web page. So just to recap, you don't want to obstruct your visitors when they're visiting your website. You want to make information very clear and concise and follow the actions, because every single web page is dictated by its own individual action, and on those web pages you can control the events, okay? And those events will lead them to the next action, and that's how you kind of run through the system, versus you just giving them a bunch of information and asking them to sift through it on their phones or at their desk or wherever they may be. I hope this helps. I want you to go look at your website right now for your company. Does your company's website make actual sense? And I want you to get out of your head for a second, because you live your company 24/7, 365. You have the most context on your website. You have the most context on your business. If I'm only learning about you for the very first time, I have no idea who you are. So get out of your head for a second, go look at your website, and perceive yourself as someone who knows nothing about you. Does your website actually make sense? Is it actually telling me what I need to be doing? Or is it simply just giving me a bunch of information that I probably don't care about? Okay? Think about that, work on it, and if you need help, reach out to me. I'll look at your website and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Please leave me a like, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. I hope you like it. It's a great day in the Bay Area. I'm in California. AK Growth.